fight Beeble, a 7-pound difference. This is 40, 50-pound difference. I don't think people really want to risk losing or having a tough challenge or risk getting knocked out. I think it's it's his weakness. His kryptonite is the faster guys who don't get hit by as big punches.
Well, I'm honored to be here. I'm happy to be here. I think December 19th is going to be crazy, though. I think the center's going to be buzzing, just crazy energy in that room. I think it'll be really good. So now, remember, I took a year out of the game.
The countdown is on, and the boxing world is about to explode. With the fight just days away, the tension in the air is electric, crackling with every punch thrown in training. Jake Paul is leaving no stone unturned, sharpening every detail in camp, pushing his body to the absolute edge, fine-tuning his timing, and perfecting every combination. Across the gym, Anthony Joshua mirrors that intensity, hammering precision, dialing in raw power, and moving like a machine built for war. Both fighters are locked in, eyes blazing with determination, muscles honed, and minds focused like predators stalking prey. The stage is set, the stakes are sky high, and history is waiting to be written in the ring. As the showdown draws near, all eyes are on Paul's camp, where unexpected decisions are reshaping his entire preparation. Moving away from familiar guidance, he enlists Don Charles, the renowned trainer behind Daniel Dubois' rise, signaling a serious pivot toward mastering the heavyweight game. This isn't about showmanship or hype, it's about raw, unforgiving ring reality. Under Charles, Paul is drilling structure, discipline, and power like never before, pushing himself to meet the physical demands Anthony Joshua will bring. Analysts note that this shift could be the key to handling real pressure inside the squared circle. Every session, every adjustment, every hidden strategy now carries more weight than ever. The message is loud and clear. Paul isn't just stepping into another fight. He's stepping into a battle he intends to dominate.
Well, I think Josh Taylor as well. So that would be a guy that's potentially being brought in to work with Jake, but I don't know that Ben Davidson would do that. I don't know if just as AJ leaves to go train with, and this is why I say Ben Davidson, AJ has left to go and train with Usyk's team. Left Ben Davidson, go train with Usyk's team. I don't know, because their relationship is so good, I don't know that Ben Davidson would just turncoat on AJ and help somebody prepare for him. Don't think that would happen, unless it was like a Tyson Fury who he already had a relationship with. So that leaves another individual. That leaves Mr. Don Charles. Don Charles, British boxing trainer, known for coaching Derek Chisora, but also known for coaching one Daniel Dubois, who just so happened, as you see here in this little very small picture down on the right side here, just so happened to, as of earlier this year, absolutely chin and stop AJ in dramatic, epic fashion in AJ's triumphant return after AJ stopped Francis Ngannou and had all his confidence back and was fighting for a world title, and Daniel Dubois said, "No, sir, not tonight." If this is true, it makes things very interesting. Don Charles was in a pretty much chaotic camp. If you guys remember with Daniel Dubois, it was like Daniel Dubois' dad was also kind of training him, which was an issue with Shane McGuigan when he was there. And then Don Charles came in, and it was chaos in the corner, and Don was trying to coach and couldn't really do it. And a lot of people thought that Don didn't get his fair shake when it came to Daniel Dubois, and got a lot of the blame for Dubois losing to Usyk just a couple of months ago. But he is a very good trainer and a guy that just worked on a game plan to beat Anthony Joshua. Now again, Daniel Dubois is also 6'4" and 250 pounds with a crazy reach. So you can't teach Jake Paul that. What will Don Charles teach to Jake if that's the guy?
Every day in training pushes him to the edge, sculpting strength, speed, and endurance to perfection. He attacks each session with laser focus, sharpening every technique while building explosive power that can change the fight in a single punch. Joshua studies his opponent's tendencies like a strategist, drills combinations relentlessly, and hones timing until it becomes instinct. Sparring sessions are brutal, designed to simulate every scenario he might face in the ring, leaving no room for error. Every bead of sweat, every repetition, reflects his unwavering commitment to peak performance. Mentally and physically, Joshua is locking in on victory, entering the fight fully prepared, focused, and unstoppable, a force built to dominate when the bell finally rings.
And this is true that AJ has gone out to train with Alexander Usyk's team. So I don't know if that means Alexander Usyk per se, but Alexander Usyk's team, I have no issues with that at all. Um, some people might sort of throw out the phrase, if you can't beat them, join them. AJ's always kind of done that. A lot of fighters do this as well, by the way, but when it's AJ, it's big nose. A lot of fighters go to camps and spend a couple of weeks in a camp. Like, most fighters do it, in fact. They go to a camp, spend a couple of weeks, da, 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 da. Obviously, it looks a bit different because AJ Usyk, but most fighters do that. I mean, there's no problem sort of soaking up knowledge and seeing how people do things. Like, why would you not want to see how one of the greatest heavyweights in the world trains and what he's doing over there? You'd want to see it. I don't know if it means AJ's going to jump ship and be trained by Alexander Usyk's team. I doubt that very much. But I don't see the big.
He highlights just how unprecedented this matchup really is. Paul is venturing into uncharted territory by taking on a fighter built like Anthony Joshua. In the past, Paul's opponents never carried this kind of natural heavyweight size, power, or presence. Most were equal in frame or smaller, and many came from backgrounds far removed from elite boxing. Helwani emphasizes that this leap in physicality transforms every aspect of the fight, from strategy and stamina to the ability to absorb punishment. The sheer difference in reach, strength, and mass introduces problems Paul has never had to solve, forcing him to adapt in ways he hasn't before. According to Helwani, this isn't just another fight. It's a dramatic escalation, a high-stakes challenge that raises expectations, pressure, and the intensity of preparation to levels Paul has never experienced.
Joshua is a legitimate heavyweight, and the people he's been fighting are not, none of them are 1/10 of what this man is as a fighter. His opponent in this fight, I don't know what your opinion is on this, but I am genuinely curious, because even while I think a heavyweight has a chance in any fight, a puncher's chance, I don't think Jake Paul has anything for Anthony Joshua.
Do you respect him for taking it?
Yeah, you have to, because that's terrifying. Like that. Look, I understand that Jake Paul is ranked in cruiserweight, but they're weight classes for a reason,
Yeah.
and this is a man that I thought was going to be the guy who knocked off Fury and Deontay Wilder, and a lot of people thought that. A lot of people thought he was going to be undisputed.
Two-time unified heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist in 2012. His last fight was for the title against Daniel Dubois and got knocked out. That was his last fight. So it's not like he's washed up. It's not like he's fighting bums and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. I get annoyed at the people who are doing like the sanctimonious thing, that this is a stain on AJ's legacy, that this is a stain on the sport of boxing, because you often hear that from people who actually don't watch boxing, don't know anything about AJ, don't know anything about the sport, and it's like, save me the sanctimony, because as you probably know, boxing has been doing fights like this for decades. In 1976, Muhammad Ali, who was the heavyweight champion of the world, went to Japan and fought a guy named Antonio Inoki in a mixed rules pro wrestling match. In 1975, after the Rumble in the Jungle, George Foreman, after losing to Ali, went to Toronto, Maple Leaf Gardens on a Saturday afternoon and fought 5 jobbers. Like, this stuff happens, and so I don't think
Wait,
this is...
what?
Yeah. He fought 5 people on the same day. A jobber. Do you know what a jobber is?
According to the seasoned analyst, Paul's game has transformed, showing smoother footwork, sharper combinations, and heightened defensive awareness that make him a more dangerous presence in the ring. His stamina has taken a huge leap as well, letting him push the pace and maintain peak intensity deep into later rounds without fading. But it's not just about physical upgrades. Paul's tactical IQ is on a new level. He now reads timing and distance with precision, knowing exactly when to apply pressure and when to pull back, conserving energy while still staying dangerous. Gone are the days of relying solely on brute strength and athleticism. This is a fighter thinking, calculating, and executing with purpose. Observers like Raphael see this growth as essential, especially against larger, more experienced opponents like Anthony Joshua. Every adjustment in training and in-ring strategy signals a more complete, battle-ready Paul, prepared to face challenges that demand both brains and brawn.
His most recent 2 fights, those are so-called real fighters, but not for a long, long time. Chavez is a decade or so past when he was best, and Tyson had been retired 19 years and hadn't been, even when he was still an active fighter, hadn't been at his best over the last decade of his career. So they were guys with big names, but not threats. And the other fighters that he's faced have been a collection of either non-combat athletes, MMA fighters who've decided to come into boxing or had very limited experience in boxing. And then, a couple of guys in boxing that didn't have a lot of experience who were boxers but had been off for a long time. A couple of guys you never heard of before he fought those guys, and those guys you'll only never hear of again. Of course, the fight against Tommy Fury, which I know he lost, but it was like a split decision, as my recollection says, and it was awfully close. And for what my perspective is, whatever you think about it, Jake Paul certainly has gotten better since he fought Tommy Fury. He's certainly gotten better over the last number of fights. Now, is he at an elite, world-class level? Probably not yet. He may never get to that level, but so you got to give him props. He's taken a guy that I spend part of my morning talking to different boxing matchmakers, people I've known for decades in this business, who have vast experience of building fighters and moving fighters and developing them, and they know a lot better than you or me what they're looking at. And to a person, they were like, they don't understand why Jake took this fight because they think it's, one person used the word of decapitation. So he's going to be a monstrous underdog against a massive puncher. They're all getting paid.
Anthony Joshua enters camp with laser focus, blending raw power with surgical precision, drilling footwork, combinations, and endurance that leave no doubt about his preparation. Every drill, sparring session, and strategy session reflects his respect for Jake Paul, while analysts emphasize Joshua's mental edge, calm, calculated, and ready to control the fight's tempo. On the other side, Paul has shown growth, adaptability, and tactical awareness, but the size, power, and experience gap looms large. Experts warn that while Paul can surprise, Joshua's elite skill set and physical dominance make him a formidable challenge. Every clip, comment, and breakdown only fuels anticipation, showing that this isn't just hype, it's a high-stakes clash where strategy, resilience, and raw ability collide. Fans, analysts, and former fighters all weigh in, dissecting every nuance, and the tension is palpable. Don't miss a second of this epic showdown. Hit that subscribe button, smash like if you're hyped, and share this video with everyone who loves boxing. Stay locked in, because the fight of the year is coming, and you'll want to catch every moment live.